In the current inflationary environment and its consequent effect on demand, value innerwear players such as Dollar Industries and Rupa Company will be relatively less affected given the essential nature of the product. Both companies have been able to pass on the full increase in cotton prices, which have almost trebled in the last 6 to 7 quarters. Both players are enhancing their distribution reach and tapping fast-growing areas. They are also projecting a healthy double-digit top-line growth. Over the next 2 years, the companies have guided for margin improvement thanks to better product mix and operating leverage benefits. Moreover, both Dollar and Rupa are trading at attractive valuations, and therefore we recommend investors to add both Dollar and Rupa to their portfolio. Recent management change at Rupa is unlikely to have an impact on operations. The CFO Ramesh Agarwal from the promoter family has resigned so that he can free up his bandwidth and leverage his experience for the company's overall growth. Rupa has promoted Sumit Khowala, working with Rupa for over a decade, as the new CFO. The CEO Dinesh Lodha also has resigned, citing personal reasons, and the company is currently scouting for a new CEO. Meanwhile, Dollar posted a strong performance for the March 2022 quarter. Revenue grew 21% YOY, driven mainly by price hikes and partially by better product mix, with realizations growing 23% YOY. Volumes declined 2% year-on-year. Gross margins declined by about 300 basis points owing to sharp increase in cotton and yarn prices. While gross margins dropped, EBITDA margins improved by about 500 basis points owing to the low base effect of Q4 FY22. Net profit almost doubled year-on-year as well. Rupa had a lower than anticipated performance for Q4 FY22. The top line was flat, indicating some market share loss to competition during the quarter gone by. Rupa witnessed underperformance in the premium as well as athleisure segment in Q4. Price hikes supported the top line as volumes were down 10% year-on-year. Also, the sales policy change in the demerged company Oban Fashions had an impact on Rupa. Earlier, Oban Fashions had a sales or return policy and Rupa had to take back inventory worth 13 crore rupees. This policy has now been changed to outright sales with no return policy. The company's gross margins dipped 130 basis points year-on-year thanks to raw material cost pressure as well as adverse product mix. EBITDA margins fell at a sharper rate of about 400 basis points as the company increased advertising spends in Q4. Also, negative operating leverage owing to a flat top line affected the overall performance. Net profits, meanwhile, declined 25% year-on-year. Both companies are enhancing network strength. Dollar is enrolling distributors in the Lakshya program, under which each distributor will cater to 150 to 200 retailers by FY25 versus 100 retailers currently. It has about 140 distributors under the program. Dollar plans to increase it to 200 by the end of the current fiscal year. Similarly, Rupa is enhancing presence in X-factor markets where it has relatively lower presence and has huge growth potential such as West Bengal, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Punjab and Tamil Nadu. Also, both companies are opening exclusive business outlets to connect directly with customers and receive consumer feedback. Rupa plans to open about 150 EBOs over the next 2 years, while Dollar plans to open 125 in 3 years. Both companies remain focused on high-growth segments of athleisure and women's innerwear. The athleisure segment is being increasingly preferred by consumers, while the scope of penetration in the women's segment is higher, especially in rural areas and also owing to the shift towards branded segment. Both segments are expected to grow in healthy double digits, which is higher than the overall innerwear industry growth. Rupa and Dollar are introducing more products and are strengthening brand awareness. Dollar has hired actor Yami Gautam, while Rupa has roped in Kiara Advani. Cotton prices have seen a sharp surge meanwhile. Cotton candy prices have increased from about 75,000 in Jan 22 to 1.15 lakh nearabouts in May 2022. The prices are expected to remain elevated at the current levels in the near future. To offset rising input costs, both Dollar and Rupa raised prices by 4 to 5% in April and have indicated that they would go for further hikes if raw material cost surges more. Innerwear, being essential in nature, is unlikely to witness a significant impact on demand owing to price increases. With preference for branded products increasing and as branded players opt for product launches and enhancing distribution reach, we expect market share gains for organized players like Dollar as well as Rupa. Also, the steep increase in raw material prices is likely to affect smaller, unorganized players more, driving a shift towards the organized segment. Unorganized players form about 40 to 50% of the overall industry, and we see scope for further market share gains for organized players. Both Dollar and Rupa, if we look at the valuations, they're both trading at a PE of 14 times their estimated FY24 earnings. Valuations are lower than long-term historical averages, and therefore, we continue to like both the names for the long haul.